Hello, just before this video gets started, I want to let everybody know that I'm going to be posting one video every day this week, Monday through Friday, starting today. So, I hope you guys like this video, enjoy, and I'll see you later. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Turbo Blast. I'm your host, James Baum. Today we're going to talk about the downfall and other things of modern gaming. And for context, I'm talking about gaming from the 2010s and up to now. So we're talking like PS4, Xbox One, Wii/Wii U slash Nintendo Switch, 3DS era. I will just begin to talk about all of that. And yeah, so many things such as Xbox Live and PlayStation Online and the PS3 and Xbox 360 and Wii and the DS were all popular things in the 2000s, but obviously as the 2010s rolled around, many things had to be decided and chosen for the company, so we had to choose what console was next, and they had to choose how to make it, and that kind of led to the first console I'm going to talk about, the Wii U. Now, if many people don't know what the Nintendo Wii U is, it was a console that came out in 2013 to promote new 3D games at a home console, kind of like the Wii, but with better graphics and a gamepad and introducing better Miis and Amiibos. The idea was good, but for some reason people just didn't like the console. Though people didn't like the console, the library was massive. You had games when they came out like Mario Kart 8, um, Super Mario 3D World, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, not the new one, the original one, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. So many games that could be used for the console, and people just didn't like it. Eventually, the 3DS had already come out before that and had better models, so people ended up going to games like Mario Kart 7 and eventually Super Smash Bros. For 3DS on their 3DS instead of the Wii U, which wasn't bad. This was also one of the first consoles to introduce a large media platform where you could buy a lot of retro games, which was something that wasn't seen before in a lot of other gaming things. So it was kind of brand new and nobody knew how it was going to go. Now we get to the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 was a little bit better because it could run a lot of new games and the graphics looked nice. All the PlayStation made games were good. You had games like The Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, and just a lot of good games made by Sony and PlayStation that were made for the console to show off how good it could be and how good it could run. That's amazing. And the PS4 succeeded and pretty much won the console wars for that generation and did really good at it. The PS4 does allow to have a lot more accessibility for teens, so it has a lot more gore in games. So while Nintendo Wii U when was made and 3DS was made for family friendly and portability, the PlayStation 4 was made for teenagers who wanted to have a good time online, really. And it's not that Nintendo didn't duke in on online, it's just that it wasn't really too good. So many people just kind of ignored it and flapped it off. But now we get into the big boys in the console wars. And I'm talking about the ones that failed, not really succeeded, and the only one really, the Xbox One. Now before you go all over me like, oh, the Xbox One was beautiful, it was gorgeous. I get it, the Xbox One was good, but trust me, it wasn't as good as you think. Number one, the Xbox One didn't have a lot of good launch titles. I mean, the best games you were going to get were games such as Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghost, which wasn't even that good, Dead Rising 3, FIFA 14, NBA Live 14, and Xbox Fitness, which was something because all Xbox Ones were required to come with the Kinect and it wasn't something that you could just buy separately now. which no one wanted. No one was going to use the Kinect ever anyways, so no one really wanted it. But the Xbox One was really built to show off what media purposes Microsoft had and could do. For example, many things were added to the Xbox 360, like user searching in Bing and Netflix, and those were good, but no one really seed using those purposes when they just had them on their TV. It's the same thing for PlayStation, and they did dabble with that. They did have a TV thing built for it, just like Xbox, but again, PlayStation was built specifically for games. Xbox was just trying to become media. So the Xbox One just wasn't too good either. Not to mention that they didn't even really adapt. They just kind of had the same games. As a matter of fact, if you had your old generation of consoles, there was no reason to buy the Xbox One because none of the launch titles were really good, other than Lego Marvel Superheroes. That's the only one that was really good. But even then, they were still making games for the Xbox 360, so just don't buy an Xbox One. They even made the Xbox One E, or the Xbox Series. There are too many of these consoles at this point. I'm not even thinking straight. The Xbox 360E is the same thing as an Xbox One, but for Xbox 360 users who just wanted to have a good time, but could run all Xbox 360 games. Matter of fact, if you bought an Xbox One, there were no good titles, so you'd have to buy all your. So don't even sell your Xbox 360, because if you already owned all your old games, keep your old console. If you already kept those, you don't even have to download them anymore. You still have your old console, and although the Xbox One would still be useful, it's just ports of games from the other consoles. Until more games get added and more games come out, it's pretty much useless to use, so no one's going to use it. And over time, variations of these consoles came out, such as the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Series X, and then S, and then S all digital, because they were really trying to sell this Xbox. Come on, guys. But the Nintendo Switch released in 2017 and then the Lite in 2019, and that did really good. It's one of the best consoles that have been made in the past 20 years for Nintendo, so it's a good job that they've done this. Otherwise, they would never be able to get back anyone again for their consoles because they would still have the Wii U. Now, obviously, that didn't ruin everything. I can make another video to this, talking more about the subject, but for now, I'll leave it such as. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was late, but hey, gotta keep the trend. Day one. Bye.